Hello there, welcome to yet another exciting time with me, Sonia Okojo, on the program. And today we'll be talking about something very exciting and interesting, and indeed a very controversial one: house chores balancing. Who is supposed to be doing the house chores even today in the year 2024? Are we still having this conversation even? House chores, the big question of who is responsible in the home. Join me again. Good to have you back. So today on the program we're talking house chores balancing in a home setting, a family setting. By family setting, I simply mean a husband and a wife, not a boyfriend or girlfriend situation. You know, man and a woman living in the same house, a couple, house chores balancing. Now, this is a very controversial topic because I know that, even today, where we have most of our men in the African setting and Nigeria in particular, still being men in quotes and still feeling and still believing, still having this perception that it is a role of a woman in the home to actually have those house chores done. That's the question we're going to be addressing today. The belief by these men. So indeed, is this still the same way? Is it still obtainable even today in the year 2024? That's the big question. So is there supposed to be like a balance? And that is what this program is going to try to do. We're going to try and find the balance when it comes to the roles of the man and the woman in house chores. Now, from house chores, now we're talking about not just doing the hoovering, that's the vacuuming of your house. We're talking about just doing the sweeping, the mopping, whatever it is you're doing, the dusting. We're not talking about only that. We're not talking about only the washing of the clothes. We're not talking about doing only the dishes. We're also talking about bathing the children. We're also talking about meals preparation. We're also talking about who is responsible for pick up, drop off and pick up of children, what we call school runs in Nigeria. We're talking about who is responsible for the overall maintenance of the home, the garden, if you've got a garden, everything about home, technical maintenance, the regular day-to-day maintenance and all of that, the children, bringing them up, doing the chores, bathing the children, dressing them up, all of these and many more, we can actually say constitute chores in the home. So who is responsible for all of this? Like I said before, traditionally our Nigerian men, African men, want to say their job is to just go and make money, bring the money home, and it is the role of the women in the house, the wives, to do what they should do when it comes to the chores. But as much as Sonia doesn't dispute this school of thought that it is the role of the woman to do the household chores, and then for the man to maybe just give a helping hand, to support, as much as I do not necessarily dispute or argue with this school of thought, the big question is, this is one school of thought that has been in existence even before I was conceived and born. It's been on for ages, from my great-grandparents, way before. It's a traditional cultural way of thinking for the average African man, that the woman should be the one directly responsible for household chores and anything about the children, at the stage where the children cannot help themselves. But the big question now is, why are our men of today still holding on so firmly, so tightly to this culture, this tradition of having the women be called the ones responsible for doing the chores? Why are they holding on so firmly to it? To this culture from years, ages, aeons past, and the tradition has shifted when it comes to the women. How many women in those, years, we're talking about those years past, how many women have careers? How many women have active jobs, like they have to wear suits and go to the office? They have to be in the same offices as men. How many women then used to do heavy lifting, used to work in factories? How many women used to do all of those hustle? How many women? So if the breadwinning role in the home has changed, this is my argument. It's very simple. If the breadwinning role that was strictly for men back in the days has moved and it's now being shared. And in some very strange and weird cases, the woman is the only breadwinner in the house. If this tradition has moved, if we have evolved and we're where we are today, where women are now working class ladies, then why are we still holding on to the belief that women should and are responsible for chores in the home? Why are we holding on to? Because of this convenience? This is not an anti-men program today, mind you. I'm all for the men as well, but I need them to understand that it's a process. The process has changed. We have moved. If the situation in today's world is such that the man alone cannot sustain a family, the woman has got to support. The women now are educated, they've got to work, they've got to maybe do businesses or whatever it is they're doing to support the homestead, then I need our men to also come to terms with the fact that it's still going to change. You're going to the same work that your wife is going to, and maybe your wife is even doing something even more difficult than yourself when it comes to the job now. And then you expect her to still be the one to come make meals for you to eat, or you request special type of meal. You want to eat bando, 10 p.m. in the night. The woman that worked till 6 p.m. that also got back home, has been taking care of the children and do one or two things in the house and for herself, she has to also satisfy your ego and go into the kitchen to do stuff for you. It has got to change. It's a very clear argument. If your wife is a full-time housewife, because I still know of some men, respect to them, who have said, my wife is not going to work. There is nothing like rainy day. The rain is not going to fall in this family. I'm capable. And those men have said, my wife, enjoy my money and manage my home. Be my home manager. If that's the situation of your home, then yes, the woman can traditionally stick to her role as being the home manager, as being the one responsible for doing all of the household chores. And of course, she can get support from you when you're available, weekends or any other time you're available. You know, that can still work. But if your wife is no longer the traditional housewife, trust me, there must be a balance. There must be a level playing field. There was a time I was telling somebody that I was with somebody. Today I'm the one doing the lounge, the sitting room area. We are going to do the bathroom. Today I'm doing the bathroom. We are going to do the room. Today I'm doing the room. You go to the kitchen. Today I'm doing the kitchen. You are in the lounge. Today I'm doing another thing. You are with the children. Today I'm not with the children. You know, it's got to be balanced. It's got to be even. It's got to be equal. And you've got to also listen and watch out for your partner when your partner is weaker, whether a woman or a man now. When you know, okay, today your partner had a very long day or hectic day, you can actually, you know, go the extra mile. The other day, it can be your turn to relax, you know, the other partner goes the extra mile. Who told you that a woman cannot come back and the man says, baby, dinner is served, I've served dinner, calls the children? Who said it cannot happen? Who said the father cannot call your home together and say, food is served, come and eat? Who said daddy cannot say, daddy is bathing the children this morning, junior bathroom, since we like calling them junior whatever, bathroom, you know, and the daddy does everything, and the woman is doing something else, or even just taking care of herself and going out to her own office? Who said that can happen? It's very possible. So when it comes to the household chores, there's got to be a balance. This is partly why some homes some persons grow apart in marriage. Why? Because the ladies are overworked. And because some of them cannot complain, they talk about you, the men behind, you know, and then when they are home, they cannot complain. But trust me, love is lost. Intimacy is lost. The sweetness that's supposed to be part of what marriage is all about is lost. It's not about, you know, abusing your husband or abusing your wife, making your wife work too much or making your husband work too much in the house. It's got to be balanced. You've got to find a way to balance things out in the home. Even if your mother-in-law comes and sees your husband sweeping the parlor, yes, he should sweep it. There's nothing like pretense. And if the woman is like, my son, if she sees that you are scrubbing the bathroom while our son is doing the parlor, she should carry him and assist him in one way or the other. That is if she's a young mother-in-law anyway. But if she's like advanced, she should just relax and allow the younger ones, which is the husband and the wife now, take care of the chores around the house. And then there should be no problem. And if the woman feels her son, especially from the mother-in-laws, from the male now, most times they're like, this woman, she's maltreating or abusing my son, my dear son that I carried for 9 months. And the daughter is not a dear daughter to somebody. Nobody carried her for 9 months. So it is the place of a man to educate their mothers, in particular, who would also want to say, or educate friends, or educate sisters, or whatever, nosy people that want to say, why are you doing this for your wife? Educate them and let them know. And my wife is not my wife is my partner. My husband is my partner. He shouldn't be doing it alone. I shouldn't be doing it alone. We should do it together. If she's bringing money to the house, trust me, she has every right to share the household chores with you equally. So for me today, in household chores balancing, my take remains, if you must stick with the traditional way, you must, as a matter of fact, be the one that is a sole provider. And then your wife can be the sole home manager. 50-50. That's household balancing. But if both of you have got to go out there to work or do businesses in one way or the other, you've got to meet yourselves in the middle when it comes to managing the homestead. So the house is not dirty, the house is not smelling. And because woman says, I'm tired today, I can't do it, I can't clean up. And then because they have children, the place is unkept, the place is rough, the man can't even lift his body, can't lift his hands to pick. Come on, we shouldn't have such families. That's why sometimes the home becomes not comfortable for the man. The man wants to run out because he too has contributed in making the home uncomfortable for himself. So moving on, if you want a successful home, you want a family that is built on love, that is, that is progressive, you've got to know your situation and balance it out in that way. I hope you've learned a thing or two today, and hopefully you change your mindset when it comes to household chores. There's nobody that is bigger than doing the dishes. Until I come your way again, I remain Sonia Okojie. Stay safe and bye.